Judge Jones has protected these state workers by blocking this order that would have implicated them in breaking a state law. This protection is critical, especially when these orders come from your boss, and in this case, the governor himself. But like everyone's been saying, if it's a violation of the statute for some state employees to comply with the subpoena, it is a violation of the statute for any state employee to comply with the subpoena. And that's why we sent a letter to Governor Polis this morning asking him, in light of this ruling, to confirm that he will not direct any state employees to assist with the search or production of personal identifying information for the purpose of producing documents in response to this subpoena. Once we get that confirmation, we will celebrate this as a victory for all state workers and for all workers in Colorado, because it will demonstrate that the law can protect you, even when dealing with the biggest boss in the state. I also want to note that in today's context, this ruling is especially important for the rule of law. Like some folks have said already, it demonstrates that here in Colorado, at least, no one is above the law. Our reasons for joining this lawsuit have been clear. First, we have a duty of representation to every single one of the 27,000 covered state employees in our bargaining unit, and state employees that were implicated in the actions that Judge Jones ruled violate state law. Second, a lot of state employees are immigrants themselves or part of mixed status families. About half my family is immigrants. In fact, the state seeks out and hires bilingual employees, especially Spanish-speaking workers, because we need Spanish-speaking employees in order to serve Coloradans who speak Spanish and other languages. We have to ensure that they and their families are protected by protecting their personal identifying information that might be in our systems. Third, all Coloradans trust us protect their information, and like Nina from Towards Justice was just saying, our state government does not work effectively if our trust in public institutions is eroded. And we work so hard to provide those public services that help make Colorado a great state. Finally, and I think most importantly for state employees, I want to talk about fear. I was really alarmed when one of the governor's attorneys asked me in court to identify by name a state employee who had confided in us confidentially that they had been asked to take part in complying with this subpoena and that they were scared of retaliation and they asked to remain anonymous. We protected their information even under pressure from the governor's attorneys to identify them. And I think what's most telling is that Judge Jones noted that them asking for the name of that employee was confirmation that our members are right to be concerned about professional retaliation in their workplace. The state employees caught up in this order to comply have been put in an impossible position. Either refuse to carry out an order from your boss and risk retaliation, or break the law. I stand here today on behalf of all of our state employees that our union represents, including myself as a state employee, that forcing our members to make these kinds of impossible choices is unacceptable. This is why I can't overstate how grateful we are to Scott for filing this lawsuit. Without him, it's possible none of this would have ever come to light until one of our members was penalized for breaking this law, and our immigrant communities would have already been harmed. But we can't expect that there's going to be a Scott in every division of every department, someone who is willing to come forward the way he has. So I fervently hope that Governor Polis confirms soon that he will not be directing any state employees to assist in complying with this subpoena. Thanks.